Today we are going to do the line by line explanation of the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. This is a poem written by Stephen Spender and this is for class 12th. Go through the poem in the video, and in case you find that it is useful to you, please subscribe to my channel, because here you are going to find everything that is necessary to study for your English exam and do your exam very well. Now let's go into the poem. Now the poet Stephen Spender is a socialist. He was very much bothered about the well-being of everyone, and he spoke out against social injustice. Social injustice means some people are not treated on an equal level to others. That is social injustice. And the class disparity in society. Some people are very rich and they have all the facilities, while some people are extremely poor and they live in deplorable, very, very miserable conditions. And he spoke against this disparity in society. Now, in this poem, what is the message he wanted to convey to us? He has addressed the inequalities existing in society. Whatever inequalities is there, here it is the inequality between the rich and the poor that exists in our society, and the condition of the children living in the slums. The children in the slums are living in a miserable condition, and he is talking about that. He has underlined the importance of education for everybody. This also he wants. He says, he highlights the fact that education is a right for every child and every child should get proper education. He also brings to light the duty of the rich and powerful in uplifting of the unfortunate children and improving their lives. Now, the rich and the powerful are capable of turning their lives into something very positive. They have the power to uplift the condition of these poor children. We are going to do the first para over here in this video. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn around their pallor. The tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease. His lesson from his desk. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in a tree room other than this. Now let's do it part by part. Now, far, far from gusty waves. What is gusty? Gusty is actually a rush of breeze, a forceful breeze. This actually implies energy, vibrant energy that is usually there in children. But these children, they are far, far away, far, far. Why is it repeated again? To stress on the word very far. From the gusty waves, these children's faces have no energy in them. They don't have that energetic face which normally children have, and they are like rootless weeds. What are weeds? Weeds are unwanted plants. It looks as if these children are like these rootless weeds. The hair torn around their pallor. Now the children are like weeds, unwanted in our society. The hair torn around their pallor, torn. It is not combed. It is not properly done, but they have just separated the hair around their face. Pallor, you say, when there is no color on the face. Probably it could be because they are very malnutrition or because they are poor. So they don't have any color on their face and they don't have any energy. The faces are not energetic. Now let's do with the difficult words. Gusty. Actually, gust means a force. A forceful breeze is gust. So the gusty waves have a lot of energy in them, but the children's faces are not like that. They are far, far away from anything that is energetic. Rootless weeds. I told you that society doesn't want these children. So they are like the unwanted plants of society. Pale. Pale means without color. Pallor is a dull face with no color on it. Tone. Tone means it is just separated. It is not combed. The hair is not combed properly. Poetic device, like rootless weeds. So the children are like rootless weeds. So the comparison is between the children and the weeds with the word like, and that's why it is a simile. Far, far. Already I have told you, far, far emphasizes very far. So it is a refrain, repetition. And gusty waves. This also is a metaphor because the waves are very, very gusty. But here, it is compared to the children and their faces. So that is why gusty waves is a metaphor. The tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones reciting a father's gnarled disease. Now, there is a tall girl, but her head is weighed down. She's bowing her head down. Her head is weighed down. It could be because she's suffering from some disease. It could also be because of poverty or some other reason that her head is weighed down. The paper-seeming boy. The boy looks as thin as paper. He's extremely thin and white. And his eyes are like rat's eyes. What does this denote? This denotes that his eyes are very hungry. They are looking out for something and they are searching for something. That is why the boy's eyes is compared to a rat's eyes. The stunted, unlucky hair. What is a hair? Hair is a successor. Usually the child inherits something from the father. But here, this boy, the stunted boy, has inherited not intelligence or education or wealth. He has inherited the disease of twisted bones from his father. That is why he is the hair. So the stunted means he doesn't have proper growth. This could be because of malnourishment. So the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones. He has got the twisted bones from his father, that disease. He is actually reciting a lesson. That stunted boy with the twisted bones. He is reciting a lesson and he has got this twisted bones from his father. He's got this gnarl disease. Gnarl means twisted or knotted. That disease he has got from his father. Difficult words, paper seeming. Paper seeming means just like paper. So, stunted means short due to malnutrition. Rat's eyes. I told you, rat's eyes means they are constantly searching for something. They are greedy. This could also be due to the poverty. Gnarled is knotted or twisted. Hair is successor. That you get something from your parents or from your ancestors. So you become a heir to whatever they are giving you. Poetic device. Poetic device, rat's eyes. Metaphor because the boy's eyes is compared to the rat's eyes without the word like or as. Paper seeming boy. This also is a metaphor because the boy is compared to paper without the words like or as. Let's see the last lines given in the para. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. Now the class is not well lit. Dim means with very poor lighting. And because the lighting is very poor and the child is sitting right behind, he is unnoted. He cannot be seen easily. Sweet and young. This boy is very, very sweet and young. Unlike the others who look burdened, he is not burdened. His eyes live in a dream. he is actually mentally not here. He is in the free tree room where the squirrels are playing a game. Other than this, so his eyes live in a place other than this classroom. His eyes actually are seeing the squirrel's game in a tree room. Difficult words, unnoted, not easily seen. Children, this is just for you to remember the easy points that will make you remember the para. The children about whom we are speaking in the first para is the tall girl who is bowing low, the paper seeming boy, the thin boy who has hungry eyes, the sweet boy who is not noticed by anybody and who is dreaming about the squirrel in the tree room. Let's continue the poem in the next video. Thanks for watching.